Hey guys, so today I'll be going in depth into the back. The back is a very complicated and probably the most complicated muscle group to explain and to develop equally because there are some things that can hop in over the other if you're trying to build something over the other. So we're going to start from the top to the bottom. We're going to start with the traps. The traps are almost like a diamond or triangular muscle. It's all one muscle and it is huge. And as you can notice, the way the muscles are almost grained, like the muscle grain is on the top, it goes upwards. In the middle, it goes straight parallel, and then towards the bottom, it goes down. So anytime you're doing a shrugging movement that you're pulling your elbows upwards, your upper traps are going to contribute more over your middle and lower traps. Anytime you're what's called scapulating, which is retracting your shoulder blades, you're going to be using the middle of your traps. And anytime you're scapulating and bringing it downwards, you're going to use middle and lower traps. So the traps actually make up a very big portion of your back, aesthetic wise, everything wise. If you want a demon back, you have to have really big traps, and the best way to do that is by doing scapular movement. Anytime you're doing a movement, really think about scapulating first and then rowing, because rowing really works the infraspiratus. I have no idea how to pronounce that right, but it works mainly the infraspiratus, the rhomboids, and some of the teres major and minor. Now, like I said, the infraspiratus works with scapulating mainly. That's its main purpose, to pull something. That's its main purpose, to pull something. Anytime you're doing any type of row movement, your infraspiratus is going to be working. So as your rear deltoid. Now, do not leave your rear deltoid out of a workout. What I mean by that is, just like your side delts and your front delts, you should work them after your back day. So what I mean by that is, work your delts after you've done those movements. So for example, I'm gonna work on my front and side delts after chest day. Now, any type of rowing movement, your rear delts are going to be working and activated with your infraspiratus, with your traps, and with your rhomboids. Now, do not leave the rear delts alone. What I mean by that is, don't just do back day and then not hit rear delts, because you're going to start to notice that your rear delts are going to start to lack, because yes, they get activated, they get worked, but it is not enough for them to really pop out and create that 3D shoulder looking from the side, which is what we want to achieve. So I actually recommend doing some type of rear delt fly or rear delt focus exercise to really develop that muscle, which looks amazing from the back and from the side. So with the teres major and minor, they work, yes, in rowing movements depending on which angle your elbows are in. The more tighter your elbows are going to be, the more lats and teres major you're going to work, but mainly they really work in abducting your elbow and shoulder extension. Those are its like really main purposes. Like, you're gonna feel a lot of your teres major and minor there, but they still activate in some rowing movements. Now, the latissimus dorsi. I personally struggle with this muscle group because I struggle to really feel my whole lat and not just my teres major and my upper lats. So to combat that, I recommend doing lower lat emphasized seated rows. Basically, what you want to do is keep your elbows tucked in as tight as you can to your body, and try to roll with your elbows almost touching your hips. Try to bring your elbows as low as you possibly can. You're going to feel an amazing contraction and stretch in those lats. And of course, lat pull downs and everything else that is a pulling up movement is going to work your lats. But there's a way that you can emphasize your lat more over your upper back. A way to do this is to pull your elbows slightly in front of you. Like I said, the lats, they activate in shoulder extension and shoulder abduction. Now, those are the main purposes of the lats. Now, if I'm going to do a pull-up, I'm going to want to go straight down. so that my lats are really isolated. But if I pull down and I go to my chest, yes, my lats are going to be activated, but it's also going to work my upper back. So if you are really trying to focus on those lats, like I said, do any type of movement that is bringing your elbows into your hips. That's the best way to think about it. Oh, I want to work my lats. Think of a movement that brings your elbows into your hips. I want to work my back. Think of an exercise that brings your elbows outwards. The more your elbows are elevated like this, the less activation you're going to get in your lats. So any type of rowing movement, really try to find a machine that is chest supported, because that's how you get the best back emphasis and stimulus, since you don't have to worry about stability and all of this. And think about really flaring your elbows out, and you're going to feel an amazing upper back workout. And the rhomboids work hand in hand with the traps. Any type of scapulated movement, it just works with it. It's under the traps, so it's not a really big muscle you have to worry about. If you hit traps, you're going to be hitting rhomboids. The spinal erectors are very massive muscles that make your back look a lot more demon, as TikTok calls it. The reason why is because they look like two towers running up your back. If you do not have erector spinals and you have a huge back, you are going to look very weird, because the upper of your back is really big and built, and then the lower is just skinny. You don't look powerful. And if you do not train spinal erectors, I promise you, you are going to get injured. It is very easy to get injured in your lower back in the gym. Why? Because a lot of rowing movement and stuff like that incorporate your spinal erectors with your lower back. So really build on those spinal erectors. The best way to progressively overload them, build them, is deadlifts. Yes, you can do a deadlift that's a sumo that works more quads and glutes, but that's still working your erector spinals, because your spine has to stay flat. And that's the main purpose of the erector spinals, to bring it from rounded to straight, or keep it straight. So the best is going to be a Romanian deadlift, which is that your back is parallel to the floor and you are just really trying to use your lower back, which is really easy to do. Just extend. It's like a movement that's very natural to humans. Just use your back, but it is a lot harder to use your glutes and your hamstrings, so it's not really a hard one. But please, for the love of God, do not go heavy on Romanian deadlifts. What I mean by that is like spinal erectors focused deadlifts. You are going to get injured. If you do not do a proper technique, it is very easy to just blow your back out. The best way to do that is round your back and do heavy ass weight. You want to blow your back out, do that. Or do a weight with no belt that you cannot handle. The most I've done with no belt is 3 plates. And that's me with perfect form. Because after that, bro, if I go any heavier, I'm going to blow up. Because I need that belt to really embrace my core so everything is just solid. Without a belt, it is, yes, you can embrace your core, but it is a lot harder. So that's the back. If you have any questions, please let me know. And like I said, for a demon back, you really want that trap built, and that is what I'm working on right now, because I noticed that my traps are a very lagging body part.